Reading books, the right books, is one of the like fastest, bestest way that you can upgrade your entire game. I'm not talking just about like one specific thing. I'm talking about upgrading your whole brain. Okay? Because I know a lot of guys, they like sit on TikTok and they consume a bunch of motivational TikToks. There's not 1,000 TikToks that you could watch that would do the same thing for you as reading one book would. So for me, reading three books, mainly Atomic Habits, How to Gain Friends and Influence People, and The Power of Now. So Atomic Habits is good if you feel like your habits are shit and your life is kind of chaos, and you're kind of depressed and you don't know what's going on. Read that book, Atomic Habits. I'm telling you guys, I've read it first when I was 21 years old. I was lost. I read that book and it changed my life. It gave me what I needed to know and navigate my day and what I should do. It tells you exactly step by step what to do. So it's not like motivational, oh, just believe in yourself. No, it gives you a system that you can actively follow. Like I can follow it, you can follow it, your grandma could follow it, okay? And it's not difficult, it's easy to read, and it's not super long either. So if there's one book that you should read right now if you want to improve your life drastically, it's Atomic Habits, okay? Secondly, if you just want to improve your social skills, if you're like, oh, I kind of don't know how people work or like how girls work, you should read the book How to Gain Friends and Influence People. That one is kind of like a cheat code. I'm not gonna lie. You got to be careful though, because you can either use it for good or for bad, because I feel like that book tells you stuff that the average person doesn't know. Okay, and it tells you a lot about like psychology, how people's brains work, how their egos work. So if you really read that book and consume everything, you're gonna become a completely new different person. If we want to improve our social skills, we will watch you. Yeah, that's one way to doing it. But the third book is The Power of Now. That one I feel like you should read last, because it's more like when you have your life together, it's more philosophical. Yeah, so it doesn't have like step by step instructions, but it's also a really good book if you kind of want to get like some insight on how your brain works and why you sometimes feel depressed and feel shit. So that book is really good to like understand yourself. The other two are good as well for understanding yourself, but also understanding other people. Atomic Habits is all about how your brain works. Are you spiritual? I wouldn't say I'm spiritual. I'm more interested in knowing how my brain works. I feel like not enough people know their brain, because every one of us has a brain. How many of us know how the brain actually works? Like, if you think about it, chat, the brain is the most sophisticated thing that we know of in the entire universe. And 99% of people don't even take 5 minutes out of their day or like in their entire lives sometimes to actually learn about it, right? We just continue on our days and do stuff that everybody else does without questioning or asking, why does my brain do certain things? Why do I do certain things? Why does my behavior do this? So reading books, especially books like that, will make you grow significantly as a person. Atomic Habits, How to Gain Friends, How to Win Friends and Influence People, and The Power of Now. Those are my three main books that I've read that I feel like really helped me out a lot. Are you interested in the subject of consciousness at all? Yeah, of course. It's like one of my main interests, I would say. I'm really interested in anything related to... in my core, I would say I'm a science guy. I like psychology. I like astronomy. I like knowing stuff about the universe, the stars, what happens in above just the planet. But I also like learning about the human mind, the human brain, behaviors, social aspects. It's so interesting, and I think if you can kind of be one step ahead or above most people. Bro, I hope those books will help, because I'm sick of my social anxiety. I'm telling you, if you have social anxiety specifically, then you should read How to Gain Friends and Influence People. That one is specifically for social skills. The other two are more for like overall life improvement. Atomic Habits is the best book if you want to fix your habits and feel like you're going somewhere in life. How to Gain Friends and Influence People will help you navigate social relationships, how to talk to people, how to make people like you, how to be naturally charismatic, how to make people feel special, how to make people gravitate towards you, how to be magnetic. So when you walk in a room, everybody's just, they feel your presence. Stuff like that. I read it first. I first read that book when I was 16. I was really young. I wasn't so smart, but it still helped me. And I always brought like what I learned in that book to most of my social interactions. So now at this point in my life, I don't actively think about the things in the book because I've read it and it's been so long. I've kind of like internalized it. So it just become a part of me now. And that's where you want it to be. What is your honest opinion on friends with benefits and situationship and stuff? Honestly, I have a positive view of any type of relationship you want. I don't think you should try to force yourself into a certain type of relationship. Just do whatever feels right for you. Do whatever feels right. If what feels right is a situationship, then do that. If what feels right is a friends with benefits, then do that. If what feels right is a relationship, then do that. Don't care so much about what other people think. I used to practice hypnotism till a while ago. My dog is not the same. I have no idea what that means. Crazy how a lot of social awkward people are the most attractive. Trust me, I haven't met people in my life who are way more attractive than me, but are also way more socially awkward and less capable of talking to girls. So physical attractivity is good to have, but it's not gonna save you. Unless you work on what's inside, being physically attractive is not gonna take you all the way. It's gonna help, but it's not gonna take you all the way. Is it bad if I'm almost 22 and never been in a relationship? No, you're definitely not alone. You're definitely not alone. I mean, I was 21 when I got my first relationship. You're just 1 year older than that. So don't focus so much on the fact that you haven't been in a relationship. Focus on why. Focus on how you can change that, right? Because if you just focus on the result, that doesn't tell you anything. That doesn't change anything. Just focus on what do I gotta do? Look at yourself, look at your life. What's not optimal right now? Try to improve, try to change. What about 27? 27 is definitely more on the upper end. I feel like once you reach 26, 27, the problem isn't the fact that you're 27. The problem is the fact that at that age, everybody else has had relationships and you're kind of like, if you don't have one, you kind of don't know what it's like, right? So you need to kind of get that experience sooner or later, preferably below under 25. Does that mean you're cooked if it happens at 26 or 27 or 28? No. It just means like you should get ahead of it, right? But it never means, oh, you're cooked, bro. Just put the fries in a bag and give up. That's not what that means. Bro, are you more of a secular or religious? And I don't think that this word is perfect to me, Bang created. If you're asking me if I'm religious, the answer is no. I'm an atheist. Nah, dude, I'm 21 and still a virgin. Nobody cares about that. When you're not in a relationship, you can focus on yourself and your family. Yes, he ain't cooked. You need friends. You need to focus on yourself. How did you felt before the glow up? Didn't you have that feeling of being ignored and not cared about? Yeah, of course I did. Of course I did. A lot of guys in chat actually don't know my background, or people that watch my content. They think I'm just some handsome RIZZ guy on Omegle who's good at talking to girls. But that's so far from the truth. I was actually the nerdiest kid you can imagine. I was probably way more nerdy than most of you guys in chat. And ironically, that's one of the reasons why I'm so good with people today. Because I have been on both sides. I know what it's like to be ugly, chopped, and ignored. And I know also what it's like to be pursued by girls, to be good at talking to girls, and to be confident. So it took me a while to go from here to here. But I know because I was ugly at one point and didn't have confidence and didn't get girls, I kind of have a wider perspective, right? Most people who've just been attractive their whole life, they will tell you stuff that you can't relate to because they don't know what it's like to be ugly and to be bad at talking to girls or being in socially awkward situations. But I do, because I was that guy. That this world is too perfect to be a coincidence. That question, I see that one a lot, and it's pretty easily like debunkable, or you can shoot. I'm not gonna do that now, but I suggest you take that question to ChatGPT or any preferred AI, and then you sit there and discuss with it. Just ask it, what are the arguments against the too perfect to be a coincidence argument? And if you do that, if you actually sit down and question your own beliefs, you're gonna be smarter at the end of the day. Don't just go with the first thought you have in your head. Sit down. I do this all the time. I usually sit down with ChatGPT when I have a belief, and then I'm like, what are the arguments against this? And usually you will learn a thing or two, and then you can evolve. I have friends, but my social anxiety peaks around girls only, so that's why I haven't been in a relationship. Well, then you have to fix that. One step at a time. I'm not saying go get a girlfriend tomorrow, but take one mini step towards fixing your social anxiety. How'd you get a glow up? Can you show a before picture if you don't mind? All right, I can show you guys. Same, I feel like I have an inferiority complex. Yeah, I definitely did too, because I grew up in a household, in a family where nobody ever told you, be confident. Nobody ever told you you're capable. Nobody told me you can do this, or you're attractive, or like, you guys know what I mean? So growing up, I had very low confidence and I thought other people were better than me. Okay, so when I saw a girl, I instantly assumed she's better than me. And when I saw guys, I thought they were better than me. And I thought everybody was better than me. And when I did talk to a girl, I put her on a pedestal because I was like, oh my God, she actually talking to me? I need to treat her like a goddess so she doesn't leave. But that's the wrong way to go about it. If you put girls on a pedestal and you think she's too good to talk to you, guess what? You've manifested that reality. Now she is gonna leave you. I think the question that people ask is, how did you become this personality? Many, many years, pain, growth, and trying and never giving up. My parents taught me no life skills. Lola had to learn the hard way. Same here. I mean, my parents are immigrants. They don't know that much. They just had to survive. They didn't have time to teach me how to be confident. I had to learn that myself. I went through that journey myself. But okay, now I'm gonna show you guys some pictures of me when I was 16 or 19, and you guys can see for yourselves what I'm talking about. So I'm not just bullshitting here. Okay, so this is my course, right? I have some pictures here. So this was me on the left. Look, I look like the typical nerd, right? Look at the glasses. Look at the shirt. Look at my face. Like, would you guys say this is attractive? Would you guys say this is somebody girls would, hook up with? No. Here's a better picture. Same picture. I'll see if I can find one on my phone. Like, look at my pants. Look, it looks like my mom dressed me, chat. Textbook nerd, cartoon to chat transformation. Yeah, literally, I look like a textbook nerd. The shirt, yeah. So I've been there, chat. I know the struggle of being that nerdy kid. Scam calls missed. Yeah, I look like an Indian scam call center guy. But today, I'm happy that it happened. Back then, I was obviously like, oh, bro, why can't I not be attractive? Why can't I not be confident like everybody else? But today, I'm actually happy. I'm happy I went through that because I think I have a different perspective that a lot of people don't. I know what both sides look like. I know what it's like to reject girls because you have other options. I know what it's like to also not have options and put girls on a pedestal just because they're talking to you. Seems like you love this show called Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. How old are you in this pic? I was probably 16 or 15 here. I think I was 15, yeah. Do you have any post glow up stories on how you were treated differently? Yeah, I do. Okay, so I'm gonna show you guys another picture, which is even worse. If you guys thought that one was bad, look at this. So this was also me. You guys are ready? Are you guys ready for this? That's me. That's me. I can guarantee you I'll look worse than 9 out of 10 people in chat. So the peach fuzz. Yeah, exactly. So if I can do it, anybody can do it, because literally this is rock bottom right here. Gamer posture. Yeah, because I was at home 8 hours a day playing video games while other people were fucking making out with girls and hanging out with girls. Yo, what's up, Bojo? What happened? Why is there no viewers anymore on Kick? What happened? I stopped streaming like 6 months on Kick, and now I'm recently back. Do not redeem. He's Kurdish, yes. Even if I am bald and fat. Bald you can't fix, fat you can fix. Okay, so the question was, do you have any post glow up stories on how you were treated differently? Yes. Okay, so let's go back in time when I was 15 all the way up to 20. In high school, I was the only one in my class who had no girlfriend. I had never kissed a girl. I got nervous around girls. I only had crushes. I had a bunch of crushes, right? But I was always too scared to even approach them or even attempt trying to talk to them, because in my mind, I was like, what's the point? They would never go for me, right? And all of you guys have probably experienced that at one point. How old were you in that pic? I was probably 16. So yeah, I wouldn't even try to talk to girls that I liked because I was like, they're never gonna go for me. And how old are you now? I'm 27. So growing up, I got zero attention from girls, romantically speaking. I was always the funny guy, right? I was the, kind of class clown. I was the funny guy, but nothing that they would be interested in. And I was just scared to talk to girls, basically. And then when I was after high school, I was like, bro, this has to change. I cannot be 30-year-old virgin. I was like, I'm not gonna let that happen no matter what. I don't care. So what did I do? I started working on myself. I got better clothes. I stopped letting my mom dress me. I got better clothes. I got a nicer haircut. I started working out. But other than the physical part, I actually started going on dates because I was like, the only way I'm gonna get better at this is if I start doing it. Chat, nothing will change. If there's anything to take away from this, nothing will change if you don't do. Okay? I can sit here and tell you all my stories, all my advice, but that will do nothing for you unless you go and do it yourself. That's the only way your brain will learn, doing. So you can read 1,000 books, you can watch 1,000 TikToks and YouTube videos. Nothing of that will help you. It will only give you the knowledge, but then you have to go and do it. Okay? You have to be brave enough, courageous enough, whatever it takes to go and do it, you need to do that. So I started talking to girls. And I wasn't even trying to get a girlfriend, Chad. My only goal was get better, get better, get better. And if you get better enough, the girls are just gonna happen automatically. So I started talking to girls and holding conversations. And then little by little, girls were telling me, ha ha ha, you're so funny. Ha ha, I actually like talking to you. So like maybe on 2-3 dates, like 3 different girls would tell me, you're actually good at holding conversation. Now my mind started changing how I see myself, right? Because I was like, all these girls are telling me I'm actually like fun to talk to. And my image of myself in my head started to change. I was like, okay, now I'm actually somebody that can get a girl, or like somebody who can talk to a girl, right? Before that, I had this nerdy vision of myself. And that was because I was a nerd. But as you change, so does your self-image. So, but no, I use Tinder. I literally use dating apps. Back then in 2018, 17, and I didn't get many matches, but I got like 1 or 2, 3, 4. And I would set up a date within like a week. And then I would just go on that date, talk to them for 2 hours. And then I would do the same thing next week. And then I would just practice my experience with being around girls in general. And then little by little, I got better. Bro, you are handsome, so when you fix your problems, you can find a partner. But for not handsome guys, it's too difficult to pick up girl, even if you are funny. Yeah, but how do you think I got handsome, bro? Did you not see the picture I just showed you? You think I just spawned handsome? No. You have to go work on yourself. Do you still recommend dating apps in the current dating situation? I don't know. Honestly, I can't tell you. Just experiment and see what works for you. Everybody's different. I don't know what city you live in. I don't know anything about you, so I can't give specific advice. All right, and I'm not gonna pretend like I can. I'm just saying, go experiment, try different things out. You don't know until you try, and see what works for you. Gym and grooming, yeah, gym and grooming are like the 2 major ones, especially gym, bro. I'm confident in the fact that if you go gym consistently for a year, you will increase your attractivity points by at least 2 or 3. Okay. So if you're a 3, let's say you're a 3 right now. If you go gym consistently for a year, you're gonna end up at being a 6, which is a huge step up. And if you're already like a 6, then if you go gym for a year, you're probably gonna be a 7.5. But I'm saying like you get more benefit the more chopped you are from the gym. All right. So if you're a 2, fat, ugly, and you go gym and you build yourself a really strong body or like a physically fit body, it's not just gonna change your body, it's gonna change your face. I've never looked as good as when I went to the gym consistently. My body started looking like a fucking beast. I was filling out shirts. Girls were asking me, oh, you go to the gym? They noticed that shit, chat. They noticed. It's like you walk in a room and you have a Lamborghini. It's a Lamborghini that you get to walk with 24/7. That's what happens when you build a body. Because nobody can deny that shit. As soon as you walk in the room, they see your biceps. They see your chest sticks out. They see your posture. But when you're fat or skinny or chubby, like nobody's gonna recognize you. Nobody's gonna notice you. Secondly, when you have a nice body, it doesn't just, the physical isn't the only thing. It's also what it conveys. Because what does a nice body mean? It means this guy is consistent. Nobody can get a sexy body or a fit body in 2 months or 3 weeks. So it's proof. It's social proof that this guy is somebody who's consistent. This is somebody who's a hard worker. This guy is somebody who puts in effort in himself. This guy is somebody who takes care of himself. So all of those things, people clock instantly. Even if they're not thinking about it consciously. When they see you have a nice fit body, all of these attributes, they're gonna put on you and you're gonna look at you positively. And that's just a side bonus. And then there's all the physical stuff, of course, like shirts fitting you better, you feeling better, higher energy, better skin, better jawline. Like the gym is such a fucking life hack, bro. If you can put in 1 year's worth of hard work, it's gonna be the best investment you can make. I was in a relationship for 5 years since high school, then I moved to another country, then broke her heart and left her. After that, dated a couple of girls, but as serious as I was, I became a playboy, and now know I could imagine myself in a serious relationship. The difference between 20 to 25% body fat to 15% or less is astronomical for your face. Yes, I agree with this. Some people are genuinely chopped. Yeah, like I was when I was 16 or 17, genuinely chopped. But you don't know your full potential until you've tried to max. Some people just call themselves ugly, and they haven't even gotten close to maxing out their potential. Like, how can you say that you're cooked and forever cooked when you haven't even put in fucking 1 day's worth of work on getting closer to your potential? So imagine if when I was 18, I was like, oh bro, I'm fucking chopped. You know what? Let me just put the fries in the bag, not even try. You don't know what your potential is unless you try to push towards that, right? So come back to me after you've been in the gym for 2 years, worked on your clothes, worked on your grooming, worked on your hair, and then if you're still chopped after that, then we can talk. Then you can tell me I'm genetically fucked, okay? But don't come to me and say, bro, I'm chopped when you haven't fucking put in no work. Of course you're chopped. You haven't put in any work. That's not how that works. Look, status, money, personality. There's no one single one. I think they all work in tandem, but if I had to pick one, I don't know. It's really hard to pick one, like isolated one, because all of these work in tandem. Like if you only have personality but no looks, you're kind of fucked. If you only have looks but no personality, you're also fucked. If you only have money but you don't have personality or looks, you know, sure, you might be able to fuck a gold digger, but who really wants that? Do you truly want a gold digger? No, you want a girl that truly loves you for who you are. And chat, if you want that girl that sticks by you and actually genuinely sees value in just being with you and not what you have, then you have to become that person. You have to give them a reason to want to be with you. Would you ask yourself, would you want to be with you right now? In your current situation, that your life, your physical looks, your ambitions, your potential, what you got, ask yourself, if you were a girl, would you want to be with you? If the answer is no, that doesn't mean you're cooked. It just means go out and put in the work. Money don't unlame someone. True. I think you can have a bunch of money, but if you're not genuinely funny, if you're not smart, if you're not intelligent socially, emotionally, guess what? You might be able to pull a girl here and there, but are you gonna be able to make them stay? No, you're just gonna keep getting used by gold diggers who just want you for your money. So if you want a girl and make her stay, she has to see intrinsic value in you, okay? You have to become that type of guy. So ironically, the best way to get a girl is not by chasing girls. It's by working on yourself. And it's nothing new. Andrew Tate has said this. Probably 1,000 other guys online have said this. But it's because it's true, chat. When you work on yourself so much that the proof is undeniable, right? When you put in the work, the proof is undeniable. Nobody can deny that you're high value, right? When you work on your social skills, your emotional skills, your intelligence, you read books, you hit the gym, you have a life outside, you have a social life, you have friends you can rely on, you have ambitions, you have interests, you have things that you've learned about and can talk about, right? And now all of those things, they shape you into a different person. So after a year or two, you might not even recognize who you are anymore because you've outgrown yourself. You've outgrown the shell that you were in before. And now you're somebody completely intrinsically different, right? And I'm not advocating for faking being someone. I'm just saying max out your own true potential. Everybody is different. All right? What works for me and what is not necessarily going to work for you. Just try to find out what that is. What if I just play Fortnite all day? But how can you get looks, body, dress good if you don't have money? Yeah, that's the thing. You have to go solve money. That's what everybody's trying to do. I'm glad I tuned in. I'm enjoying my time with you. Hey, glad to have you here, buddy. If you spend your time chasing butterflies, they'll fly away. But if you spend time making a beautiful garden, the butterflies will come. I like that. I like that analogy. That's true. That's very true. Spend time making your garden beautiful, chat. I like these moments when you just chill with chat. Yeah, I like it too. I can sit here and talk about things like this for many hours, but I know a lot of you guys are also here for the girls and Amigo content, so I don't usually do that a lot. But right now I don't really care because I'm enjoying talking to chat. But she can help me grow my garden? No, my friend. Only you can grow your garden. She can only... Actually, I take that back. The right women can help you build your garden, but you have to build the foundation of your garden. If your garden is rotted and the soil does not hold any flowers, then she can't do anything. Your garden has to have the bare minimum of being able to grow flowers. Yeah, she can decorate it. She has to see value in your garden. She doesn't see value in your garden, she's not gonna come and help. Do you do stream full time or do another job? No, I stream full time. Alhamdulillah. By the way, chat, I'm gonna start releasing like exclusive content for members on my YouTube. It's gonna be something low, like $4 or $5 membership. And I'm gonna be releasing one long form every week for member exclusives only. And I'm also gonna start posting more content like this, like what we're doing right now, where I talk about, you guys can ask me questions about relationships, confidence, life, like anything in general. And so we're gonna do more content like that, and it's gonna be for members exclusive. And then of course, we're still gonna be releasing regular content for everybody. If she likes you, she'll stay and support you. Yes. How do you break the ice when you talk to someone? I struggle with that shit. So breaking the ice is not really about what you say. It's more about how you say it. If I enter a chat with a girl on Omegle and my energy is this, hey, where are you from? Oh, that's cool. What do you do for work? Like, do you see the difference in that versus yo? All right, that's cool. Yo, what is that on your wall? Hey, I like that blanket. Is that, you guys see? Like, I'm not saying anything. I'm not saying anything different fundamentally. It's the energy you bring. If you got to bring that energy, that confidence, all right? So if you say shit with confidence, girls will be like, okay, why is this guy so confident? If you can say the smoothest thing in the world, but if you say it with low energy and insecure, then it's not gonna be smooth. The opposite is true as well. You can say the stupidest shit sometimes, but you say it with confidence and high energy. Girls they're not gonna look at you weird. But is that how you normally talk? Yes, that's how I normally talk. So the way you deliver words makes the difference? Yes, absolutely. The way you carry yourself, the energy you have behind your words, the confidence you say the words with, that makes a world of difference versus what you say. What you say is a very small percentage, really. It's the tone of how you say things. Because as humans, we're very social creatures. We detect when somebody's low confidence just by the way they speak. Not necessarily by what they say, but how they speak and their posture. Are they kind of like this? Are you small? Or do you have your shoulders back? Are you speaking with confidence, like you believe in every word you say? Those are the things that subconsciously people pick up on. A perfect example is if you guys go back when those two girls, instead of me being like scared of it being two girls versus one guy and being like, hey, you go in there, you're like, boom. You take up space instantly. You have this tone, you have this energy. Why don't you create a new channel for this kind of content? I think I'm just gonna put it in the exclusive, because the exclusive is not gonna show up for everybody anyway. So I'm just gonna put it there for those who are interested in seeing more conversations, more raw content, longer, like 1 hour conversations, and just, stuff like that. But how can someone fix their shoulders? That's easy. Go work out. Your shoulders, like, it's a part of you. It's a part of your body, bro. Just build it. Work on your posture. Like, this is different. You see, my shoulders are rolled forward versus if you hold them a little bit back. And I'm not saying you don't have to do this. You don't have to be like, hello, girls. I just joined, looking forward to the content. Oh, yo, what's up? Piraz, my fucking man.